Hi everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart and welcome to my channel. I'm really excited today because I have a fusion piece I'm working on. Now, I've had a fusion piece on my mind for a couple weeks now because oftentimes, sometimes these art fusion pieces take a little while to percolate in my brain, and it's been percolating for a while. So let me just show you what we're working on. So here is the extent of it. Now you're seeing it here already in its pretty cleaned up and finished form before applying the paint skins to it. And it's taken, once again, it's kind of a labor of love. But you know what? My attitude is anything worthwhile, if you got to put a little effort and energy into it, you know what? It just makes the reward that much more important. It makes it that much more valuable. So yeah, that's my piece, and that is an interesting piece that I'm going to do some unusual things to it. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. So I've got my color palette here, and this is a color palette I just dug into because one of my subscribers, Geraldine, asked me to make her a set of coasters, and I was dictated a certain color palette. Now for this here, I'm tweaking it a little, and I have yet to try this out. So I'm doing this color palette sight unseen. Let me just go over the colors real quick. I've got my Artez's Pearl Pastel Green and Glacier Blue, Pearl Glacier Blue. And with it is Amsterdam's Sky Blue Light. This is my Golden's TLP Whitehaven with Golden's Iridescent Pearl. And I had added a little bit of titanium white in there to opaque it up. Here's Artist's Loft Metallic Orange with Artez's Pearl Marmalade and TLP Mango. This is my TLP Zeus with Golden's Quinacridone Nicolazo Gold. This is mostly Golden's Iridescent Bronze, but I did add some of this to this. I added some Color Art Autumn Leaf, which is a bit of a red twinge to it, and I wanted to add a pigment to this to see what's going to happen. And this is Modern Masters Mystical Green combined with Folk Art's Deep Atlantic Blue. And now what I have for my translucent pillow is my translucent pillow recipe, and it's a combination of Bear 8300, Valspar 833124, and Floetrol. And I've changed the composition on this, the ratios on this a little bit, and we'll see what we got. I've got my American Floetrol Selectivator recipe over here. So here we go. I don't want to go too far because this tends to spread really easily. So I'm looking for those. I'm looking for making two paint skins for that. One that's 6x6 and one that's 6x7. I don't know if I have enough. Let's put a little more down. I always do this. I second guess myself. So while I have a second here, please stay to the end. I have a near disaster with some resin that I use that I need to share with you. Let's see where that takes me. All right, cross my fingers. First time trying this combination, exactly. I got very lucky the first time I tried this on the commission because my first time out of the box, the colors came out perfectly in the sequence. And that's an aspect of this process that is really important because the way you lay it down, if you lay it down one way and then you lay it down another way, you're going to get different results most of the time. And I am a drizzler. This is the metallic orange combo. And I do love to combine my colors. I've always been a believer in I'm a team player, and I guess that attitude of teamwork kind of bleeds through in these kind of creations as well. This is my Golden's quinacridone combination. This color combination is just beautiful. And I want to go on these fusion pieces with something a little more dynamic. You know what? It might be wood, and I want to keep things natural, but you know what? I can keep it natural and go a little bolder at the same time. So that's what I'm doing here. I got another fusion piece in the works. It's actually a twofer. A twofer in the set. I'm so excited about these art fusion pieces. I mean, these things they are gorgeous. They are a little laborious, but I'll tell you what, for me, the sanding and the preparation of the wood is every bit as fun as this, because it is so relaxing to me. I do wear hearing protection. Sometimes I put some earbuds in and I listen to some music, and then off we go to the races. Sanding is just very relaxing to me. But you know, first of all, I got to cut it down to the right shape I want. All right, there's that, my cell activator. This is my titanium white, my oxide black. It's my usual stuff. And look at the date on here. It's from 4/9, April 9th. This is my American Floetrol cell activator. I still have some left. This stuff lasts forever and it works. I know when I was coming up through fluidart, people would say, oh, you only have like 2 days with your cell activator. Not true. This stuff is fine. Hopefully this will show it. All right, so I got my white. Video 141, if you want to see how I make it and what's in it. Here's the black. We're going to blow this out with my mouth. Lung power. Here we go. I want to go more in that direction than I want to go in this direction. So everyone, I usually talk through the blowout here, and the blowout is such an important part of this process. And I will be teaching the bloom, specializing in the art of the blow, in Washington, D.C. from the 6th to the 8th of August. And if you want to get an up-close, personal view of how I do this with my thought process and all the variables that go through my head as I'm blowing this out, I'll cover how you can go from this to your own functional art and even how I went into my art fusion. So please join me there with Karen from Waterfall, Sarah Mack, Fiona, Mina Villegas, and the other guest artists in D.C. before the classes sell out. I don't know if you noticed my little course correction there. As I was blowing it, it wanted to go in that direction. I course corrected my blow going this way, and it brought it back in that direction. Every blow is different. I can't emphasize that enough. I'm gonna blow out the middle a little bit. All right. We're gonna add a little pillow to the ends. This is gonna be good. This is really good size already. Okay, add a little pillow. Especially in the direction I want it to go. And then we'll start a spin really slow. If you watched me before, all my spins, especially Lazy Susan's, my first start, are very slow. And it's like me getting acquainted with the paint. It's like, pleased to meet you. How are we going to work together here? And you know, sometimes I sound a little weird when I say these things, but the more I work with these paints, the more I kind of give them respect as having kind of a life of their own. I mean, oh Lord, I need to tape it down. I'll be back in a second. Gentle spin. One of these days I'm going to come down to the art room and, like Toy Story, open the door and find all my paints frozen in time all over the floor, wherever they found themselves during the night. So now that I have the basic composition here, I'm going to skip through some of this in the interest of time and also fast forward a bit. Also, I ended up creating 3 paint skins for this, but I am only showing you this one. Always keeping in mind the shape I hopefully will be getting for the piece. A little more speed. Check the size. And go bigger. And I'm going to cut out some of the spinning as we go forward. I'm excited about these colors because they're brighter than my normal fusion pieces that I've created. Okay, I got more room to spread. I'm not too worried about that because I can always cut things off, cut things down as we go. A little more wide, a little more length without going wonky. 6 by 6 on the top and 6 by 7 on the bottom, but all this is adjustable. I might just stop here. It's really pretty. I love the little bubbles, the little cells in here. These are so beautiful. Like these are. They're like little peacock pearls, peacock cells. I'll get you overhead in a minute. And so I'm not going to show you the sanding portion of this creation because I have it here. But this has been honed down pretty good. And I have my mineral spirits that you can get from any hardware store. Got it on my cloth here. And this is when it gets exciting because this is when I get the first glimpse of what this is going to look like. So I've gone from this, even rougher, to this. And this is really cool. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but I just want to show you that this is where it starts to come together and look promising. So here I'm going to do my first coat of stain, and I'm going to start with the natural finish to see how this looks, because when I used the mineral spirits on this yesterday it got really dark, and I want to just take a look at it and see what I do before I make my skins, because my skins have got to go with what this is going to look like. So I'm working on 2 different creations here of my art fusions. Here's the one after it's been stained with the natural stain. And here are the others, and these 2 will probably become a set. Now the question is to figure out what kind of paint skins am I going to create for these 2 guys. So I'm going to let them settle down for the next few hours in the sun, kind of bake a little bit, and then I'm going to see how they look, and then we'll go from there. So everyone, I'm going to do a brief interlude here because this is actually quite important, especially if you're going to be resining things. I tried a different resin on that fusion piece that I will either inset now or have a picture of with the results of it. Here I'm showing you a picture of the first coat of resin with a substandard resin. Not to mention when I came down, I was horrified by the way all of the resin was just dripping off and actually stuck to my table, and I had to try to peel it off and then cut it off of my piece. So let me just show you this. This is resin. This is my KS resin. Here's a very thin piece. It's like, it's hard. It cracks. My husband actually stepped on a piece the other day and thought it was glass. So this is real resin. This is crap, absolute crap that I bought, and I'm not going to tell you the name here. I'll leave it in the description in a very subtle way. Don't buy this resin. And I even did a jar lid. Let me show you that. So what I was trying to do is find an alternative resin for things that I don't need to have the high heat ability. You know, certainly my fusion pieces don't need it. My clocks don't need it. My jar lids don't need it. Actually, you can't see this probably very well. Look at the edge on that. Look at that. Absolute crap. Now I'm going to be re-resining this. I'll be re-resining my fusion, which I probably would have had to do anyway, 2 coats. But do not use that resin that I list in the description. Save yourself the trouble and the time and the angst and the stress. Crap. It's plastic. This is plastic. And here's the other problem. I was actually treating this like my normal resin like this, where I have to use the heat gun. And I almost ruined my piece because as I heated it up and I started to try to cut it off with my knife, it started to peel. It was peeling my piece away, my actual fusion piece away with the bloom. So I'm glad I was doing it in an inconspicuous place. So anyway, word of the wise, stay with the real resin. The KS resin works every time. This is junk. All right, end of that commercial break. But I had to tell you guys because it's a learning that's important. If you're going to use resin, get some really good stuff. It'll save you trouble. You'll pay more right now, but it'll save you trouble in the end. All right, back to the creation. So on that note, everybody, I've decided to just wrap this up, and here is the final resin results. Thank goodness, the next day I re-resined with my KS resin, and it came out absolutely perfectly, again, amazing. I can't emphasize enough, resin is important, and I do have a discount code in my description if you want to use it and purchase your own. So here we are up close and personal. I am so happy with how this turned out. This is a spectacular piece, and these paint skins show up beautifully, especially in the sunlight. They just glow off the top of this, and I wish that my video would show you exactly how pretty this really does look. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe, hit the bell and all. You'll get all my latest art tutorials. I'd love to hear your comments, and also remember the thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that as well. At the end, I'm going to link my other fusion pieces so you can see other creations with other color combinations. Also, another invitation and reminder about a personalized and customized tutorial that I can offer. If you have a particular problem or question for me, please reach out to me. My email is in the description, and we can go from there. Thanks a lot, everybody. I'm going to sign off for now. Until next time.